he makes up his mind about something, he's pretty hard to sway. Okay, so I'm going to play the clip here. I'm not going to take anything out. This is exactly what I sent to them, and this is what they put up, and then I'm going to get into my final thoughts.
We want to see the algorithm suggest more MAGA-related content prioritized.
I always like MAGA-related. If I could, I'd make it 100% MAGA-related.
Cue the Steve Carell drop because, good Lord, are we screwed?
It's over. We are screwed.
Now that MAGA has officially secured the TikTok sale. What's up? My name is Anthony Ambrononi. I am a TikTok creator. This is my first YouTube video and hopefully a series of YouTube videos for the Really American channel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to stay up to date with all the content and breaking news. I want to get right into it because I think JD Vance inside the Oval Office the other day had basically told you exactly what was happening behind the scenes, and I don't think he meant to do it. Let's start with the clip.
The U.S. company will have control over how the algorithm pushes content to users. The most important thing is that it does protect Americans' data security and ensure.
And whenever you hear, this is the thing about the TikTok sale that you need to remember and keep in mind. Whenever you hear it's about data security, it's about keeping Americans safe, it was never about that. It was about one particular government, or two particular governments, I should say, having a problem with the way that the left actually creates content and talks to other people on that app. So just keep that in mind as we roll through the clip.
TikTok is still accessible. And on this question of the algorithm, which we've heard this a lot, what this deal ensures is that the American entity and the American investors will actually control the algorithm.
Great. So billionaires are going to control the algorithm.
Have you seen a list yet of the people? I know Michael Dell's involved. Rupert Murdoch's involved. Oracle's playing a very big part.
That's right, sir.
Just like they've controlled everything else on planet Earth. How is that looking? CC climate change.
We don't want this used as a propaganda tool by any.
But that's exactly what they're going to use it as. It's going to be a propaganda tool now that the right controls it. Because that's what they do. They're the ones who push propaganda. The left engages in civil discourse. They engage in just communicating about the issues of our time. The right is the one that's saying MAGA. You know what I mean? We got to make America great again. Even though if you check the history books, America was never great for everybody.
Foreign government. We want to make sure that our people and our investors actually make these decisions based on what's good for their business as opposed to what's good for another government's propaganda arm. So that's what we've done with this deal. I think it's very good for the American people. And as the president said, young people love this. We actually want.
No, we don't. Speaking as a younger person on this app, I'm only 32 years old and I use TikTok every single day. We don't love this.
You're tacky and I hate you.
If you did a poll right now, you would come back with 90% of the actual users, whether they're the creators or just the voyeurs on that app, do not want this. We don't want the government involved in TikTok. And not only that, but JD Vance continued off this clip by saying that they are going to have a special place, a special seat on the board of this new TikTok, like American version of TikTok, that is strictly reserved for the government. Like a government official will be on the board of TikTok. That should scare the living shit out of you.
Everybody to access this, whether they're MAGA or not. We just want it to be fair. We want it to be fair to everybody, and we think that's what's going to happen with this new arrangement.
It's not what's going to happen with this new arrangement. What's going to happen with this new arrangement is that it's going to be twofold. One, they're going to start censoring left-wing content. So the Phil DeFrancos of the world, the Really Americans of the world, myself included, if you start saying words on there like genocide or Palestine or free Palestine or condemning Israel in any way, they're going to censor your page or give you what they call a shadow ban. That's going to be the first thing. So then you're going to silence left-wing creators first and foremost. The second thing that's going to happen now that they have control of this algorithm is you're going to see a mass exodus because people like myself who are sick and tired of seeing the world look the way that it looks are just going to find a new app. We're going to find a new way to communicate with one another now that the government is getting involved in the way that we communicate with one another.
So, Mr. President and Mr. Vice President, the U.S. company could change the algorithm to push different content? Is that?
The U.S. company will have control over how the algorithm pushes content to users.
And that is, therein lies the rub. They didn't like the way that those left-wing lunatics created on that app and were talking on that app, and they found a way to buy it and suppress it.
That was a very important part of it. We thought it was necessary for the national security element of the law. We also just think it's important to protect American users. Again, we want users to use this platform the way they want to. We want the business to make decisions about content based on the interests of the business and based on the interests of the users, and that's what we think will happen with this new arrangement.
That is ridiculous.
And they're paying a lot of money, and I think
I can't even
it's
listen
going to
to
be a
him
great
speak.
deal. They're very
He's
sophisticated.
such an idiot.
Well, you'll see a list. Have you seen
You
all
notice
this
how
stuff?
whenever a real billionaire is in the room, he bends over to kiss their ass because he's not actually a billionaire? It's just ridiculous. And remember, all of this was brought on by the JDL and the AIPAC and basically Israel having a TikTok problem after the atrocities of October 7th took place. So when Hamas attacked Israel in what is now looking like fair game, you know what I mean? Like, they did what they had to do in order to survive. They were being oppressed to the point where that was their only option. When that attack went down and Israel couldn't spin it, right? And Israel responded with the attacks in Palestine. And what we're now seeing is a genocide in Palestine. Obviously, TikTok is a place where people can come together and express ideas and share ideas. That helps us cut through the propaganda, both from the American government and the Israeli government. And I want you to take a listen to what Jonathan Greenblatt said after, this is after, mind you, TikTok was getting hip to what was going on over in Palestine. Take a listen.
The issue in the United States' support for Israel is not left and right.
Mm-hmm.
It is young and old. And the numbers of young people who think that Hamas's, massacre was justified is shockingly and terrifyingly high.
Yeah.
And so we really have a TikTok problem.
Yes, you have a TikTok problem because we don't want to be complicit in a genocide. It's just that simple. You don't need to break it down any other which way. We see what's going on. You can't lie to us about what's going on anymore because we're communicating in real time. Trust me, as a person who's actually donated money to families over in Gaza, it breaks my heart every single day to watch Israel bomb hospitals, to kill innocent women and children, to kill it just mercilessly. And then they're actually lying about the numbers that are coming out. Instead of it being 300,000 people killed over the last 24 months, it's more like 600,000 or 700,000. They're blocking aid to come in. They're starving people out in real time. And we can see it on that app. And it differs, right, from Facebook and Meta that suppress that kind of content. It differs from, Snapchat and Twitter that suppress that kind of content. We are openly communicating on TikTok, and that is the reason why they wanted to go ahead and buy it. I want you to listen to what Bibi Netanyahu said just the other day after his horrendous UN speech where he's basically justifying the genocide. Take a listen to what he said.
We have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential.
So yes, of course, the most important purchase that Bibi Netanyahu can make aside from US politicians is TikTok. And of course, the algorithm ends up in the hands of Larry Ellison, a devout Zionist and someone who is personally close with Bibi Netanyahu. This type of authoritarian rule should scare the living shit out of anybody, because this is the real rub with TikTok, right? You really want to break it down to what it is. It is a communications platform, plain and simple. But where the Google bros got on board with all of this and decided to keep quiet is because it became a search engine. It became a place for you to find recipes or restaurants in your area that you actually wanted to try. It became an e-commerce platform, upsetting the Jeff Bezoses and the Amazons of the world with the invention of the TikTok shop and people selling live on there like it's QVC. It became a one-stop shop for cool. And everyone who is cool is on that app. At its height, 130 million Americans spent 90 minutes a day getting their news and information from TikTok. That completely deviated away from normal media, mainstream media like Fox, CNN, MSNBC. And that is the reason why MAGA wanted to control the algorithm. They wanted to suppress left-wing content.